Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid, and I am joined again by Maryland.
Hi, guys.
And I have a confession to make I want to start with. It has been quite a while since we recorded the last episode, though, because of the delay between when these things get recorded normally and when they get uploaded, to keep a nice buffer between the recordings being public and people in the game being able to watch them. It hasn't. You won't have noticed it.
Yeah, we're not we're
But
not too far behind, but it. Yeah, I mean, you and I were talking prior to broadcasting, just that it's going to be a little tough to get back in the groove of where everything's at. But I remember pretty good.
right. But Marilyn and I are not the spring chickens we were, a month ago when we were recording. So, let's start. Okay, well, let's summarize first where we are. That'll
Right,
help me
right.
kind of get my mindset. So, we basically have the End Agartha conflict. End is clearly indicated he's winning it. He's Jim burnt like massive piles of Agartha's gems.
That's
Agartha's a
correct.
bit in tatters. However, he was quibbling a little bit with Penn. If we look at these messages, we're going to have some interesting stuff happen here over some of the northern Agarthan land. And so that's going to be interesting to see how that love triangle plays out now. And furthermore, Pan has mostly finished Uruk. I think he had last turn he might have had one fort. Uruk might have had one fort left under siege or something like that.
I think I saw two,
Maybe
one
two.
pan,
Oh,
one
okay.
Xibalba.
Okay.
There's one still alive under Xibalba.
Yeah, and speaking of still alive, we've now got three still alivers. We've got
Right,
Pythium, and we've got Bandar, and now we have Uruk.
but all
Just
three are stuck in forts
yeah,
with, as to the best of our knowledge, very little inside.
right. We had the beginning of a new conflict. We had Zibalba attacking Ashdod, and so that's kind of new news, and we can see there's a fair amount of activity there.
Hmm.
And Jotunheim has just been getting trounced.
But he's counterattacked somewhat successfully in a couple of areas.
Right,
You know,
he's
uh,
thrown Satis off,
mhm.
so a tactical victory, but not necessarily a strategic one. And Pelagia has been kind of shadowboxing him, going in, going
Yeah,
out, going in,
yes,
going out, not
as
overcommitting.
and that's more or less what he told us he planned to do, was play spoiler until the late game.
Right.
Um, just try to not let anybody get too much of a lead. So of course, if he's going to do that, my expectation he's going to shift his targets very soon.
Right. But there's a problem for Pelagia, which is, a problem or an opportunity, depending how it ends up playing out. But Zibalba attacking Ashdod means Ashdod can't kill Jotunheim,
Right,
which may leave Pythium in more of a 1v1 situation with Jotunheim.
Pelagia, you mean?
Yeah, Pelagia.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
because Pelagia's whole thing is they need somebody to kill Jotunheim and take their cap. Otherwise, that whole coastal land's going to be contested for forever.
Yeah,
And I think the last thing with the summary is Vanarus is fighting Ulm and kind of slowly using it, but we haven't really seen Vanarus do too much high commitment stuff, like use their mage core. So
right.
we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, but Ulm has gained a lot of ground
Right.
fairly cost effectively.
Yeah, yeah. So Ulm's making pretty good progress. Okay, so a message from Jotunheim taking back what Ashdod took. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Survived kind of this initial 4v1. Taking back what Ashdod took, plus potentially extra, should be doable without too much difficulties with Xibalba attacking. Can't push into Satis. I don't have that many resources. Only two ishable armies. Only two-ish able armies. And it'd make a pretty weirdly shaped, undefendable extension.
Yes.
This Earth 2 Nature 2 Gnome Throne will taunt me forever. So close and yet so far.
Well, and we've watched that whole little Golden Triangle area be kind of a a doom for everybody who goes in that little spot.
Yeah. I think this whole thing it's almost like a parable. Like this should be in the Aesop's fables of Dominion stories. Like we show to new players and we're like, don't let this happen to you.
Yeah, how to burn up all your resources fighting over the same little piece of ground for 20 turns.
Everybody wants this throne, and so it's this 3 or 4 way, and it changes hands so many times nobody can ever finish a fort there, and so not a single gnome ever gets made all game.
Yeah, and the only one I think who really has the great potential to hold it would be Pelagia.
Yeah,
if he chose to do nothing else, because he could just grab it, pull back to the sea, grab it again, and eventually people will leave it alone, I would think.
Yeah.
But he can reinforce it from a single, like he can immediately come from a fort with no risk of his armies being interrupted on their way there, and then lock the damn thing down in a hurry.
Yeah.
I would imagine he even has the potential to put a wizard tower on it and then just lock it. Somebody's got to be getting close to that. No,
we're not a wizard tower tech yet.
Well, Alm might be.
Yeah, Alm might
but
be.
He's not there. He's not one of the contenders. See, that's possibly what'll happen with that throne now is somebody will wizard tower or 3 red.
Yeah, and I mean it is something Pelagia's gonna be able to do because they're doing it almost certainly an alteration rush.
I just can't remember if you can cast wizard tower from in water onto land.
I know you can cast it onto land. I think you can cast it. Oh wait, I can't remember if you can cast it in
land to land. I'm gonna look it up while we work here.
Okay. Current focus, the fish. Them dumping 10 or more turns of elemental income into elementals is a real worry. Let's see how it goes. And that is a very realistic worry. Pelagia. I want to take a look at their mage core real quick before we go into the. So they get
a lot of options.
Right. I want to see where's the Ducado. Not the Ducado.
They get something similar.
No, they do get Ducado, but it's actually this is a shitty Ducado. This is one of the land mages they get, but he doesn't get very good paths. You can see he's only going to be 1 in anything.
Yeah.
But they have these other guys. Let me figure out. So these guys are pretty good. I'm trying to figure out. There's one mage, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, that gets just great elemental path access. It can't be this guy.
Don't you mean the big guy, the king?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not who you're thinking of.
That's not who I'm thinking of.
I could look
this guy, the mystic.
Oh, yeah. That's a standard, pretty much a standard mystic.
Yeah.
Or even better than so. Oh, plus he also has.
He's an amphibious, so he's not waterbound.
And he can make fish amulets.
Yeah, he can make fish amulets. But he's gonna get an air, water, earth, astral random. What that means is he's either going to be 2 in one of these paths, or he's going to be able to jump in communions.
Right.
And what that means, and this is the elemental risk threat, is each of these guys in combat with 4 gems, you can turn into 2 elementals.
Yeah.
And having a mix of, like, if you imagine a fight that starts off with, like, 12 air, 12 water, and 12 earth elementals, like, oh man, that can majorly upset how a fight's gonna go.
Yeah, like, slightly off topic, but my teammate in a new game I'm playing just pulled that with this against Pelagia.
Yeah.
And he just snotted the crap out of Pelagia. Pelagia brought 85 of his big sacred cavalry, and they were wiped, absolutely wiped. And it was basically he outdid him on the water elemental spam.
Yeah,
and a better formation as well.
Yeah.
The one thing I noticed that was different because both came ready for water elemental spam at each other. But Issa's biggest advantage is he had more chaff to soak up the damage, whereas Pelagia had no chaff, so all of it was taken by his expensive units.
Huh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, well, because the water elemental is basically going to wipe a square a turn of most things.
Yeah.
but there's only going to be so many. And a lot of the water elementals that Pelagia summoned. So it's just that this is going to be similar to what is potentially going to happen here. We're going to see elemental spam versus skeleton spam with a turbo communion.
Yeah.
And
But I think this mage for Pelagia is super important.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, it's going to be able to do all the earth buffing on land, right? It's going to be able to do quickness or quickening spam, and he's doing an alteration rush, so he can do quickening, the area of effect one. And then air elementals or thunderstrike.
And every single one is good. Like
Right.
you're not wasting any of them.
Right.
Because if nothing else, and he also has the option of some other options for communion slaves, right? Because Pearl Magi.
Yeah, you could use these guys. Or I'm not actually sure who you use as slaves. I don't think you don't have astral ones. I mean, if you get Ducados, they kind of suck though, except as researchers, which they're good at.
Well, all I'm saying is that if you needed slaves, at least the Pearl Magi are guaranteed slaves.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas only 1 in 4 of the mystics are capable.
Yeah, I think the only trick for Pelagia coming on land is and I'm not sure. I'd have to actually open up a game. The interface doesn't do a great job telling you. It says down here, if you look at the bottom, Ducados can only be recruited in coastal forts. Sometimes other things that can be recruited in the water can also be recruited on the coast. And I don't know which of those are the case, but one problem is if these guys are only underwater, then as you scale up and get on land, you're not necessarily able to increase your, like your Pelagian Mystic production with all the land forts you take. So that kind of sucks. But you just end up building all of your entire underwater becomes forted if you get big on land and you crank these guys out. But
yeah.
So, they can be a pretty big presence on land. Let's go take a look at Jotunheim and see what's happening. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. So there was a big stack in this forest here the previous turn.
No, it was over to the side, I think.
Oh, weird. Okay, so here's what happened. He magic phase this guy on top of a fort is going to kill this with air elementals. And the normal phase he moved the Kraken on.
Okay.
His big army was here. Oh no, the Kraken ran. Okay. Get out the popcorn, boys.
Oh.
Get it out.
Oh.
So, this was a risky move from Jotunheim because he exposed a big army to a Kraken.
Right.
Now, the thing is that doing this, exposing the army to the Kraken, might be okay because if Pelagia magic phases into him with the Kraken, he will, if he can't chew through the Skelly spam fast enough, which is probable from a big turbo communion, then he'll end up timing out the battle and running. And because Pelagia is, the attacker, they'll run first.
Was this battle, we can't really tell because you looked at it from the map rather from the messages, but you think this was a magic phase attack?
Yeah, I'm almost certain it was because this army would have had to have stayed still.
You could confirm it by checking its position on the message list.
Yeah, we can confirm. I'm almost positive though, because this happened in the same province this army was this turn, and both these guys are magic phase. So we can check he put this onto magic phase. So, we'll just watch it. But what I think is going to happen here is he's going to stress the communion out by taking it, by turn timering it. And so he may burn out some of the slaves, but all the troops are also going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, Rigor mortis. Interesting. How much reinvigoration does he have? 4.
4.
But 5 encumbrance. He will fatigue out, actually.
Yeah, he will. And he's already fatigued. Did you see that? His fatigue was...
Oh, yeah, he's already at 101.
Already fatigued out.
I think if you're Jotunheim and you're doing this, and I think you have to forward position these guys and do curse turn 1. Because you know this Kraken's coming for you.
Yeah.
And curse helps a ton. It sucks getting your Kraken cursed. He has recuperation, so he'll work... Oh, wait. I didn't think through this. So, because Rigor Mortis is up and this guy's going to fatigue out, he doesn't have relief up.
No. No. Well...
And this guy does not have... He's going to need... Okay, let's do the math. I have a video on fatigue plays coming up, but the average fatigue you get per turn from Rigor Mortis is 7. And the reinvigoration is 5, but you get the bonus passive +1 that everybody gets. So it's... This guy is 4, and you get the +1, so it's 5. So he's going to, on average, be at a 2 deficit. However, when he's asleep, he's going to get a bonus 5 on top of that. So he's going to be effectively at 10 reinvigoration when he's passed out, which is greater than the Rigor Mortis fatigue generation. However, when he's swinging, he's not going to get the passive, sleeping 5 reinvigoration. He's going to take 5 fatigue from every swing. So I think what's going to happen, he's going to wake up, waddle his ass over here, take a few hits, fall asleep.
Wake up again.
Wake up again.
He's going to alternate in and out of sleepy time.
But these guys are never going to wake up.
No, they're getting pounded. Yeah, because the skeletons ran out.
What was their communion like here? I wonder. Wait, did they burn? It looks like they burnt through their communion.
This is kind of a mess. Kind of a mess on both sides.
Yeah.
The rigor was an odd choice.
Well, I think you want to pair it with relief if you can.
You usually do. Because these are not undead, so...
And they're the same technology tree.
So here comes the Kraken, going to kill some guys.
And he's too tight. He waddles up. He's too tight to do attacks. And so the shield
kills one guy.
Getting like supreme value out of this shield. He can't move, but it's gonna. Yeah.
Oh man!
The Kraken totem. All right, let's take a look at the turn timer.
This whole thing's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Battle round 76. Well, it should end here. Oh yeah, it's gonna go to 100.
I think the Kraken retreats at 90.
Yeah. Okay, this is pretty painful.
But there's a very real danger. Like with bad RNG, they all get stuck on the field and they all wipe.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The Jedi thing would be, and I think, well, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. I was going to say if you replace this Ring of Regen with something that gives you fatigue, reinvigoration.
Reinvigoration. But I don't think he anticipated the rigor mortis play.
Yeah. I didn't anticipate it.
I mean, didn't either.
He could have guessed from the gems, but...
Strange.
Okay, well, no curse, no afflictions. When all is said and done, a pretty massive win for Pelagia.
And Jotun lost. Yeah, that was pretty painful for Jotun. Distinctly painful.
Yeah, I mean, at a different time in the game, this would have been not a big deal. We're like, oh, okay, I lost some stuff. But, Jotun doesn't have many things like this.
No. I agree with you. Okay.
And then
that
these are
same
separate
armies.
I think, are they?
No, this is them. That's the 14 surviving herdmen. Yeah. No, that's the army that. That's the army that came from
You
there.
might be right.
Well,
Huh.
and some of the herdmen died during a retreat. Or yeah.
But there's Scotty here that weren't here before. Oh.
Oh, he brought a couple more.
You remember how? Okay, we're gonna check this out because I think what happened was the batteries were coming in from the communion batteries were coming in from a different province,
and they didn't get there in time.
Well, and this was magic phase, so they got
right. That might also have been his option. See, he might have been planning to cast some reinvigoration with some slaves if he had any.
This could have gone completely differently, and he had nature gems. This might have been. This is what happened, Maryland. This is what happened. This guy was supposed to cast relief.
Yes.
The Scrotty, the Turbo Communions, these guys, it's turn one. All the things have gone up. There's no slaves.
Not enough. No slaves.
The slaves were coming in from a different province, and they were meeting up here.
Right. You're correct. Okay.
Oh, man. Wrecked.
So... yeah,
but that is a risk. That is a major fucking risk he took doing that.
Well,
because the fact that Kraken can magic phase is well known, and like he knew this could happen.
I don't like moving communions separately.
Yeah,
like not communions. I don't like any of the pieces of the communion moving from two provinces because of the interruption possibility. If chaff is moving in, or some troops are moving in, or some backup magi are moving in, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I like my communions to move friendly move only and put them together before you start advancing them. Communions are very difficult to use offensively.
Yeah.
You can do it, but you really got to keep these things in mind, because here's a prime example of your communion was being put together from two locations. It got interrupted, so half of it didn't show up. Not quite half, but by a critical element, the two turbo slaves.
Yeah.
So that was costly.
Yeah.
And now,
I want to say,
and now he's cut off. He's cut off.
I mean, there's so many things. This guy has high enough magic pass. He could just do magic duel, magic duel, magic duel, magic duel, returning too. You know?
Yeah. You could probably also do, if the researcher's there, Astral Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
Boost up his magic resistance a little higher and just shred everything.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the rest of the damage report. Okay. So Tis right now, big man in charge of the Throne of Earth.
These super cheap raids by Pelagia are working really well.
Yeah, they're like
15 heavy cavalry, like big whoopee, and then one pearl mage with a couple of troops up above.
Yeah, that's one of the mercs, I think. Yeah, Hector's heavy horseman.
So he's cut off the Jotun army, which is now kind of split in two little chunks.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
Pelagia is doing something I like to do a lot, which is, depending on how I feel about the matchup, like if I feel like I'm going to crush somebody, I don't play like Pelagia is doing, where he's doing this kind of duck and dodge, where he's just poking. But if it's a close matchup, a lot of times I'll do something like this, but not, some of it's just to do the raiding and to get some passive income. But most of it is to get them to expose something like this. And once they expose something, then I can set up a trap for them. Or to get them to walk into some kind of trap, basically. And it looks like that's what Pelagia has done.
Another purpose I do this same kind of over-the-top counter raiding or leap behind kind of stuff. I like to think of it as like interdiction in military terms, in that you're busting up his lines of communication.
Yeah.
Similar to having partisans, blow up a railway or something like that. You're just messing with their ability to move, because he's losing his chances to friendly move. He's vulnerable to magic phase attack. Jotun doesn't have much options for magic phase attack of his own.
There's another element here that we almost missed, and that is, he was planning on this battle timing out. He had given this guy a flesh eater. I don't know if he was planning on the rigor mortis part.
Right.
And these shields, actually, stacking these shields is kind of a problem because they do add encumbrance. So that makes this whole thing fatigue out a bit faster. And the solution, the best solution would be giving him some kind of life drain, something, so that if he has somebody to feed on, he can keep his fatigue down. But I mean, yeah, honestly, I think you swap out like these two, or maybe not the charcoal. I think you swap out the Skultata in this for...
And yet it turned out the
Wraith Blade
Skultata killed most of the Magi that he killed. So having that did more damage than I think you would have otherwise, but...
Yeah. Well, no, but this is the thing. If he woke up, right? So if there was enough troop stuff... Now, the long dead stuff he won't be able to feed off of, but as soon as he gets into the back line, and he won't have as much encumbrance. I think the combination, if he had swapped these two items out for a Wraith Sword...
I wonder who sold him the Flesh Eater. Or he got it lucky.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing I was thinking, though, is there aren't many life drain weapons that he should be able to forge that I can think of.
Yeah,
so
but, I mean, he could trade for a Wraith Sword. That probably wouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, but his plan, I think it maybe could have been kitted better, but this is me nitpicking. But his plan was to turn timer this. He knew this, which is what I'm realizing now. And the way I know it is because he magic phased on these two. He was trying to rout the army in the magic phase.
Right.
And have nowhere for it to retreat to.
You're right.
Because he magic phased attacked this.
Yeah, you're right.
And so that's another thing. He's always like he's looking when he sees an advantage, he's not just gonna poke, he looks to destroy. Right? Like he takes like a minor overstepping of these guys and he wants to turn it into completely wiping out every last unit in that army. So just increasing the stakes when the thing's on his side.
But what he failed to do is take that Plains province where Jotun's army is now. So
no, but this was a normal phase movement into Pelagia land.
Because sorry, you're right, because it did not succeed in routing them.
Right. Yeah, and I mean it's possible Jotun would have still gotten this with the reinforcement dudes that were coming in. But that wouldn't have mattered because he still would have. The army would have routed in the magic phase.
Krakens have an 8 fear, don't they?
Yeah.
So he probably also thought he'd get them to run away with fear, except they were all asleep, so they couldn't run away.
Well, he knew it was Skelly spam, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, fear might have played a factor if it got back into the mages. But yeah, I mean, in rigor mortis kind of negated it too.
But then what cut off the Skelly spam was the rigor mortis and the lack of the communion slaves.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a very complicated battle. All kinds of little...
yeah. Okay, we probably spent like 20 minutes on them. We need to probably move on.
We should move on.
There's just a lot to digest there, though. Okay.
It was.
Jotunheim raiding back from Ashdod. Sends a Gaija in. That's kind of funny. Oh, a Gaija thug. Yes.
Oh, cheapo thug.
Lost an arm, but only has one frost brand, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, it'll still should work.
Man, that guy hits the dog shit out of her. Okay, this is the problem with Gaija thugging. Not great stats.
No.
Now it's routed.
And routed. Oh, ouch. Bummer.
I don't think it had missed... let's watch this again, actually. I want to see... I think Moss Body might have been the play. It doesn't have water. Yeah.
Personal regen and large bark skin. It's just not enough protection and nowhere near enough defense and no shield. Yeah.
You know, I can totally understand it, though. He just didn't count on this commander walking up with a 26 damage weapon and just bitch slapping her.
Well, and, maybe he just didn't have many other choices.
Yeah. I think this could have worked.
Arco
Okay.
is messaging me. He was just wondering where we're at, and I said, "Well, we're on 38 right now."
Yeah.
So
we just did his attempt to.
Yeah, he might have some. He might have some tidbits to share.
Yeah.
But we've spent an awful lot of time on him, so.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll save it for next episode. Okay, so we've covered now this conflict, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think the two of them. Is there anything to say about the Jotun Ashdod? Not really.
Well, let's focus on Ashdod now. We just did the kind of counter rating. The Jotun Ashdod thing is Jotun's trying to take stuff back from Ashdod, which, given his losses on the Pelagia front, he probably has to give up on that and go try to defend.
Yeah, I would say what we're going to continue to see, given with the backstab by Zib, is Jotun and Ashdod are going to bounce back and forth with minimal commitment.
Yeah.
Because Jotun has bigger problems.
Right, they both have bigger problems now.
Yeah.
Okay, so message from Ashdod. Alpha strike by Xibalba, a moderate success on his part. I managed to get most of my forces back on the east side. Xibalba's hidden summons clued me that something was up, though I intended to back up from Jotun regardless and await Maws. We'll have Alt 5 this turn. Still, our research is still miserable. Yeah, his research is horrible. But starting to buy lanterns from Ulm. Strategically, not sure I agree with Xibalba's move here. He could have joined Pan versus N for easier gains, I think. He did catch me with all my good stuff in the east, though. And I'm going to be banking that he hasn't concentrated forces on his southeast fort yet. Calculated risk, but I think I need to catch him before he consolidates on the caves outside my cap. The Wraith Crown needs to high roll on that 4d6 for me so I can counter some of the Skelly chaff. But I expect similar tactics as Jotunheim. Fatigue plays with chaff, skeletons, bugs. I 100% expect Grip of Winter. Not sure about Rigor. He can communion up for Aerofin too. This makes me a little sad that everyone's got such easy air access. Because he's got these million slingers he can put flaming arrows on. But that's still going to be pretty okay against Skelly spam. He started to Breathing Winter my cap, so I'm expecting he wants to run at me fast. Fatigue plays are so winner take all. A good risk on his part, considering the cost of our initial troops. I'm empowering my god in water this turn. Need to spend those water gems somehow. It opens up foul vapors and a lot of self buffs. I'm thinking, what was Ashdod's god? Have we seen it?
I don't remember. I don't think I have any notes on it.
Okay.
I think it's a Titan of some kind, but...
All right, we'll go take a look.
Yeah, I don't particularly have any notes on it, so we'll have to find it.
I think with Reinvig gear, Shockwave Evocation 2, the glyph drop is real. Okay, so it looks like it's a divine glyph.
He's got a glyph. So
especially with the teleport fluffer like my third son hero. By the way, this third son hero is one of the better heroes in the game. It's one of the... There's not many units in the game that can cast Wish without empowering, and this is one of them. It's only Astral 4, but it gets a bonus miscellaneous slot, which means with full gear, you get an extra Astral booster. It can do...
You can wear 2 rings.
Yeah.
2 rings and a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one is Cthulhu, the real Yay hero.
Right.
He's Astral 5 base.
Yeah.
He used to be the thing you wanted to wish for if you were playing real Yay.
Yep.
But there's very few base Astral 5s that can wish without empowerment.
Yeah.
Because normally you're stuck to a +3. Well, unless you want to use that bloody make you insane wand or rod.
Oh, right, the dimensional rod. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a pain in the butt. I mean, you wreck a super valuable unit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's tainted and insane. So
it's tainted and insane. Yeah. So I usually don't even bother making that dumb thing. I think it's cursed now too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't used to be cursed, so at least you could put it away.
Okay, going Alt 5, Blood 1, Evocation 2, Enchant 5. Yes, I'm that far behind. The 10 lanterns certainly helped. I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, the Blood 1 I can understand. I mean, that's Reinvigoration and Sabbath, so that's a really cheap little boost. Okay, so this is just...
Oh, 2 lessers. I was going to say a big one should win.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the research. Because he just listed that Conjuration's a little on the low side. Oh, that didn't work.
Did not work.
Okay. So he's counter-sieged to Zibalban Fort.
Well, god damn it, Maryland. This is boring. I thought this was going to be like fireworks and all sorts of cool shit.
No, not particularly. It's pretty quiet. So we're not... Yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot to see there. Nothing to see here, folks.
I demand action.
Move along.
Let's take a look at this army. So he's put this army on top of a Zibalban fort. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that's a major army. Moderate, pretty good base support. 3 shaman. Does that give him the chance to communion master the Rephaite? Rephaite? Pronunciation issues.
Yeah, he's got 3 slaves, and then this guy.
No, that's who's the master? The guy in the back.
This guy's the master. With this matrix.
Oh, he's got a matrix on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I don't think there's anybody else.
This is where he wants his maws. That guy would do a good job. Oh,
this is a big beefy dude.
That's his prophet. Yeah, what's his affliction?
Lost an arm.
Lost an arm. That's.
I've seen a lot of lost arm afflictions. It's
lots of big slashing weapons, probably.
Let's take a look at his bless again. It doesn't have reinvigoration.
You just hold still on that bless again for a second.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go real quick clip. Just gonna clip that. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah. So see, I don't know how this would do against Skelly Spam. On one hand, these Anakites will kind of tear through it. On the other hand, they, like he was saying, they don't have cold resistance. And with Grip of Winter and Rigor Mortis up, I think this army would lose to almost anything.
Yeah, that would be pretty painful.
The only exception is if he can get these archers shooting the mages, he might have a shot. But
yeah, he's going to be grip and possible foul vapors will be painful for him. Although
he doesn't have poison resistance.
He just doesn't have the research for heat from hell.
Oh yeah, that would be the other way to deal with it because he's got fire resistance.
Yeah, that's the instant counter to Grip of Winter is heat from hell.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure I agree with his comment on that the winter on. Oh, is that his capital? Right there. Oh, geez. So Zibalba's right on to his capital, potentially.
Yeah, he's rolled up here with a pretty big force. It's consisted of unfrozen warriors.
Well, he gave us a message 2 turns ago, I believe, to say he was going to put together. He did a whole bunch of hidden info spells, so he's kind of put them together, and that'll go really well with the Grip of Winter play.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of things that can happen. One is he could use his glyph and gem bait this, or he could foul vapors this. Did he? What enchantment was he at? He said enchant 5. Yeah, so, I think there's a good number of things he can do to troll this Zibalban army, and then maybe hit him in the normal phase after a foul vapors thing with his god.
That could be.
I don't know. This will be interesting. This is a precarious position for Ashdod, but he did not leave his stuff undefended at home. I mean, he's got 1 million slingers everywhere, which are pretty good against Skelly Spam stuff.
Yeah, he saw it coming and didn't leave himself too vulnerable. And even that army, I was just noticing the army that's sieging, the large one, does have a nice retreat blocked by a river. Although, well, Xibalba does have quite a lot of swimming dudes. He could probably cross that river into that forest.
Yeah. I wonder.
I don't know.
I wonder. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll find out next turn.
Mm.
Okay. Let's do. I kind of want to do the Agartha end conflict, and then we'll
Sure.
We'll see what's happening here. Okay. So he moves this force here.
So he has effectively bottled Agartha up into his capital.
Right.
And and he finished that fort.
Oh, with the bitch mother. I want to see what this is. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
A lifelong protection, a skull staff,
okay.
and reinvigoration.
Okay.
But doesn't bother to protect it with some armor. That's disrespectful. I would never send this in. Oh, invulnerability, though. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. What was inside, though? And I think
Nothing.
he already knew it. Oh, nothing.
This is this well of pestilence fort.
Oh, right. So why the heck not? Oh, this is a good play. Yeah. I mean, that was a really good play.
That was
nice. And it saves his army to do... Oh, but he didn't move the army. Oh, that's kind of an interesting decision.
Well, he took this back. I think this
I
came
meant
from
the army that...
Oh.
The army that was sieging, or no, what? Maybe it just moved in. The army on that fort he just took.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I don't remember where it was.
Let's see what Agartha is patrolling with here. He's got his god present, this archmage.
And a lot of magma kids.
Some nature gems. Looks. He's not going to be able to do Serpent's Blessing. Maybe this is for Poison Ward.
I don't know. Maybe relief? Poison Ward?
I'm pretty sure you just keep... I don't know why End isn't still hitting this with his god.
I don't know why he's got those few magma kids in the back. They're going to burn everything.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems with magma kids and Agartha is you don't have much in the way of fire resist available.
Yeah, okay. So let's see. This looks very juicy. I didn't check the gems on the Golem Crafters. Let's see how many gems he's putting on them.
He sure had a lot before, but he burnt up. What did we did the numbers. We estimated 60 in that one fight.
Yeah.
I don't see many.
There's a couple.
Just a few. What about on the oracles? No. I'm just thinking maybe some Maws.
Yeah, I think he's just going to do the occasional kind of rogue earth elemental summon, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But he's now got this situation. He's defending this fort from a non-existent army. Like, who's going to attack it? I don't know. Maybe there was... I can't remember the positioning of all End's armies last turn, since it was a while ago, but...
I think some of them were adjacent.
Okay.
But what he's done is he's pulled out and he's finished off.
I mean, I know Agartha was like limping back to get away from that End god, but...
Yeah, the airdrop of that.
Yeah. Okay, but not a lot of movement in that particular conflict right now. I mean, we had a fort go End's way, and he's kind of... The noose is just tightening.
End's god was the Baphomet?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the pronunciation there. See, we're out of practice. I can't even get the pronunciations right.
Yep. Happens.
Everybody's going to be going, we're going to have that debate again. Is it Satis? Is it Sati?
However we say it, it's wrong. That's the one thing I've learned. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Apparently there's a fertility cult or something going on here.
Right. Oh, okay. Lifelong.
Okay. Really? One swarm plus lifelong is going to kill all this? No.
I guess so. Yeah,
he gets a lucky right on the satyr.
And the pigs.
And then the pigs get blocked from trampling. That I think if you did this 10 times, Pangaea would only win like once or twice.
Yeah. It was a little unexpected. So, the I key probably. Can you press I on that province? Yeah, that's okay.
Fertility
That's
cult.
the fertility cult. Okay, so that's going to be a pain in the butt for a while.
Yeah, it is.
So he's got no PD in there.
Oh, well, he just took it. So
he just took it, yeah.
So
once
he's
he has
taken 3 provinces off of Ind now. Well, I say off of Ind. I think it was formerly Agarthan land, but
yeah. So I wonder if they're going to negotiate like terms there, because that's a pretty good split. You know, Pan gets some gains without getting insanely huge.
well, down here, Pan has gone after some forts too. So
Okay. No, I guess not. Okay, so Ind has a challenge on his.
right,
And
well, let's see how this Dryad's equipped.
this could save Agartha. Oh,
Oh, a Thug Dryad.
yeah.
Now Dryads have all, which is going to work really well with this build because they've got 20 defense plus the all plus the Vine Shield. They're not going to get harassed for hardly anything.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. It's gone berserk.
Or Bloodlust.
Oh, that's blood surge.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not berserk. I just saw it darken. The two look similar.
Yeah. So it looks like Ind knew something was up though. And I don't think they had a nap because he had a Crystal Mage here plus these guys, which I wouldn't have expected really. A Deep Raid from Pangaea.
Well, he's been using these a lot, quite effectively.
Yeah.
These Hierophant, inexpensive thugs. Using an Awe Shield there, right? That's the golden Hoplon.
Yeah. An all shield.
Gleaming gold.
Budget kit, 20 gems.
Yeah, not bad.
Or middling kit, I guess. I wouldn't call it 20 gems budget, but
no, but not outrageous. And he's using another one there.
okay, so this was like a loss, quote unquote. Okay, I clicked. A loss for Pangaea, because he ran.
Didn't take province, but he did some damage.
Yeah.
Oh, Bone Fiends. There's another one of those bitch mothers. Oh, it's got Thorn Armor, though. That's always a bit of a mix, because the encumbrance on it is painful. And the movement loss. So that guy's surged. I assume that's Blood Surge and not Berserk, the color change.
Yeah. The challenge with this... Okay, he's routed. Yeah.
Yeah. If he took some chip damage, it was enough, I
Yeah,
guess.
he doesn't have any chip regen. Like, he doesn't have regen or anything.
No. Those are still a pretty good thug, though. Like, he's done a lot of good with those. And it gives him... how would I put this? Projection of power. That would be the word I would use for it. They give him high mobility, projection of power outside of moving his larger armies, and they're really hard to spot. They're stealthy, aren't they, those Hierophants?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are very difficult to stop, a little bit like an elf, and not something I've seen very often from a Pan player using the Hierophants as thugs. I'm quite impressed by that technique. I think that's very effective.
Yeah, and I mean, I just spent 60 turns fighting this kind of thing. I mean, if my Ubar series, which when this goes up, will have probably just finished. I mean, I've killed so many Hierophant thugs, so uncountably many. Yeah.
Who was Pan in that game?
It was originally Zan and then Kirby. Kirby's actually playing in this game. He's helping, I think, with the Ulm position.
Oh, he's one of the backups, isn't he? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'll just check here. I can
he's
check that
I'm pretty
enough.
sure. Yeah.
Kirby, yeah, he's backup on Ulm.
Yeah. And so I think he's actually doing a lot of he's doing, some of these teams, the backup is really a backup, like they're there to kind of watch and cheerlead and...
but some of them are swapping back and forth, aren't they?
Some of them are swapping back and forth, and Kirby is like doing whole turns, I think.
Right.
So
cool. Okay, so this is Pan.
So
what do you think the summary of the Pan Ind war is? Do you think Pan is going to try to kill Ind? Because then he would be insanely huge.
So I think if we look at it from like a political perspective or like a diplomacy perspective, Satis potentially is a free agent now. I think they've been knocked on their ass, but they've been knocked on their ass hard enough, and Pelagia has cut them off too.
Yes.
I don't think, especially if Pelagia lets them keep this throne, there's nothing left for them to do over here.
No.
If Pangaea is attacking into end, that is going to set off like alarm cries, like, holy shit, guys, Pangaea is getting out of control. Because if Pangaea gets this whole corridor,
yes,
he's basically won the game, I think.
I think so too.
Now, that said, he's not right now very far ahead of Vanheim.
No.
This is province graph. So he's just basically, he was, until that last turn, he was just at Vanheim. This thing put him a bit ahead, but not significantly, really.
Yeah. But Van is a free agent. He's not engaged with anything at the moment.
Exactly. Vanheim is a free agent, but that is a good thing, because the thing is, people are going to say, if Pan conquers end, then it's game over. If Vanheim was doing the same thing with like Ashdod or, something else, people could say the same thing about him. But because he's not being aggressive, they're going to say it about Pan and not him.
Yeah. See, this is why I was somewhat thinking that Pan might be willing to sue for peace with End and just take some of the gains. But
yeah,
it's hard to say.
Well,
obviously,
this is not, End is not going to give up this stuff, I don't think. I mean, I don't think he can defend this, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to give it up, but he also has to sort of maintain a certain amount of defensive line against an Agartha push out from the fort. Like, is Agartha going to park in his fort now indefinitely, or what's he going to do?
Yeah, well, let's continue thinking through all this diplomatically, though. So, how this can play out. So, Satis is a free agent. Satis can potentially join and help, but he's very weak.
Yeah.
Pelagia, who would be like the person to join against Pan, has decided to kill Jotunheim. That is what this all means to me. You're right, because we had Xibalba stab Ashdod. Ashdod backs out. Who's going to kill Jotunheim? Pelagia says, I will this turn. Right?
Yeah.
So Pelagia is, while they could help, they're not really a free agent.
No, but if you notice, he does have some decent armies on Pangaea's border. Like, he hasn't shifted everything to do an ultimate doomstacky kill of Jotun.
Yeah, I'm suspicious this is mostly to patrol out dryads, but yeah. Because if they don't have a nap, Pangaea may sneak some dryads under there and just steal all of his mages one turn.
Could be. Yeah, but there's some goofy stuff of trying to seduce in the water. I'm not entirely sure, but I've had some failures with that. It doesn't count your retreat path, so you don't seduce.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Well, that whole retreating between water and land from one to the other is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I know it exactly, but I've had some failures with it, where it behaves in kind of an oddball manner, and we'd have to get into that in more detail with, say, Logi or something, and confirm that. But it's not all that reliable. I know I wouldn't want to be trying to seduce in a water province with my retreat path, because you've got to have a retreat path with the Dryad, otherwise the seduction doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'd have to do a test game and see.
An assassination.
I know retreating from water can be janky. I didn't know it affected assassinations, but
or
seductions.
Yeah, seductions, not so much assassinations. So I'm not sure that it would count. I don't know. That would be kind of a janky, like you said, janky. I like your word there.
So, I think Pelagia can threaten, but in some ways I think it's probably a bit of an empty threat. I think Pelagia would just poke. Because Pelagia wants to eat this. They don't want to fight Pan and do this at the same time, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
I
agree with you there.
Ulm, heavily committed. Ashdod, very much involved in a conflict with Zibalba.
Yeah.
I think the ace card here is this huge-ass Midgard army. If Midgard goes on Pan, which anybody teaming up with Midgard in some ways is making a deal with the devil. Because Midgard's
Vanheim.
just Vanheim. Yeah, Vanheim is just as big as Pangaea. You
Yes.
know?
Well, and can we look briefly at some of the other statistics related to that?
Sure.
I would think that right now, gem income, I wouldn't be surprised if Van's in better shape. Very close.
Very close.
Very close. And he's, oh boy, they're both very high. Basic income's very good.
Research is actually somewhat worse than Pan. Pan's phenomenal in research right now. I wonder if he's found fire gems and been trading for lanterns or what.
Could be. I'm sure Alm is selling lanterns everywhere.
Yeah. What were we saying?
Army size. Could we just briefly look at army size?
Yeah.
Okay, well, but Pan's army graph is a bit deceiving because a lot of that's going to be main ads.
Yeah. But the problem is, I think, this is one of the challenge when big players go to war. Like when you have position 1 and 2 fighting, is that a lot of times if one of them win decisively, like let's say Vanheim comes in and not only like hits Pangaea, but takes his capital, right?
Yeah.
Which he could do in like a couple, like he could do it not from counting from this turn, but like if he started planning it and sneaking things in, he could probably take his capital and another fort or two in the first like 3 turns of the war.
So I have a little aside came in through the discussions from Arco related to that fight we watched with the Kraken.
Yeah.
Do you want to, it would be brief.
Sure.
His comment was he was tempted to use a bloodthorn.
Ha! Yeah, that was what I was thinking. That would have changed it.
Was the comment. Yeah, that would have changed it. But he's not sure it would have been much different. He thinks it would have been close. But he did say it resulted about as he expected.
Well, the thing from the Bloodthorn is it would have gotten rid of the shield encumbrance from the Skultata. So it would have made him get to the back line sooner. In addition to the fatigue he would have gotten back from actually smacking things in the face. But
So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Just a brief comment from him. Just a couple of sentences. But I thought that was interesting. So
yeah, so he's thinking about it.
Especially his comment that it resulted roughly how he expected.
Well, I mean, roughly how he expected, except it didn't work.
Yeah.
But
maybe he didn't. He was willing to take.
It was still risk. A fine trade. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was bad for him.
No.
But it could have gone sideways with really bad RNG, though it would have probably had to have been epically bad RNG. Where he got where it permanently fatigued out and stayed on the battlefield.
So I've kind of I've got us having pretty much discussed 7. Arguably, we've kind of discussed Satis in that he doesn't really have a play at this moment, but he's in a position to prepare for the next play. Let's see, Vanarus. I don't know what there is to say about that. I'm just going through anything we've got left over.
Well, I think this is the big question, right? So, Satis helping end, I don't think will really help. I don't know. Like, the thing is, Pangaea just conquered Uruk, right? And the same thing we were talking about with Jotunheim conquering Mictlan. He hasn't had a chance to get mages produced in a lot of these forts. Like, he has, by conquering Uruk, he's diluted his military density.
Yeah, he's spread.
So, if
his lines of communication are long,
right? I would normally say Satis wouldn't be able to help much. Like, help from Satis would probably be giving land to Pangaea, but Pangaea is stretched thin a bit already. So, it's possible Satis could help some. Pelagia could poke here and there. But the big thing is Midgard could deliver like lethal blows.
Yes.
So what Midgard decides to do, I think, will be really important. And they have to decide too, if they fully commit on Pangaea, like if they just poke Pangaea, they can probably poke him and he'll leave End alone. Is my guess. Or
If Vanheim does.
yeah, I keep saying Midgard.
No, sorry. Yeah, no, that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, if they poke him, they can probably get him to leave Indolone. But the problem is if they commit too decisively, either they get locked in like this feud that will last for forever, because they're battling over like Pangaea's cap, or if Midgard eats a lot of Pangaea, then he'll have to get ready to fight the whole rest of the world, because he will be by far and away the scariest player.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very much at the exciting phase. So you're gonna look at Ulm and Vanarus now.
Yes.
Good.
I'm trying to see if there's anything worth looking at here. Okay, hello.
Oh.
We have detected a battle captain.
We have.
A small Vanarusian force, a few brave men.
She cannot take the strain, Captain.
He's got this guy with a bunch of morale items, seeming to expect a, like Wailing Winds or something.
Maybe. Not that that's really an home play. So just
I saw summon Storm Power, but I don't see a storm. I wonder if
he forgot his gems.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Flaming arrows, slings, flaming sling bolts. Those hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, he chewed through the troops very, very quickly. And that guy fatigued out? He did, so he died.
And he lost the Vanabog. These are cap only, so.
Yeah, that hurt.
I wonder if he was... I just want to make sure I saw Storm Power go off.
Those slings did a lot of it.
Yeah.
Watch those flaming sling bolts chew the crap out of everything. I think he might have forgot his air gems.
Yeah, that's summoned Storm Power.
Yeah. I definitely think he might have forgot his air gems. Or he burned them.
I wonder if that first turn... Yeah, I wonder if that's what it was. Because on that first turn, he scripted Blessing. I wonder if he was supposed to do a Storm. Because he did Blessing, summon Storm Power. Like, where is the Stormcaster? I don't know.
Yeah, it had to be the Vanabog.
Yeah.
Well, he's got another Vanabog here. This guy got
this
gems?
One's a Thug.
Oh, that's a Thug, okay.
Yeah, maybe he, like, misclicked. So that was kind of weird. He breaks out of the fort here. Oh my god, with 20 of these sages. Let's see how he's planning on using them.
Does this guy have the air gems for his... No.
They're all doing summon Storm Power.
But...
a Stormcaster.
Okay. Does he get it off? Oh, it didn't trigger gem use.
Yeah. There's nothing here.
Cheeky little fight. Okay. Maybe... I think he just got caught out of position. And just didn't have the gems in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of mistake.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, a fair number of Thunderstrikes coming out could make the difference, but I don't know if it would have won him this battle. Because, like you were saying, the volleys from the backline with the crossbows and the sappers and the slingers...
They chewed up the troops very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because his infantry barely engaged. They did engage, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
If he had committed more here and maybe done more PD and he had gotten this off and maybe a couple more mages, he could have killed it. But I don't... Yeah.
Yeah. Well. So Vanarus is distressed. Because now he's kind of busted up in little stringy bits. Kind of an X formation.
Yeah.
Isolated fort, isolated provinces.
This is going to be hard to keep too.
Yeah.
A was also seen in the army? What the hell? A blank was also seen in the army? What the... It radiated power? Man, what does this mean? What is this madness?
I wonder if he renamed it to blank as the name or something.
Can you do that? 1 second.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you can wipe the name. Yeah. No. If you wipe it, it's... Well, maybe he used underscore or something. Try underscore in the name. There you go. Blank the omniscient spy. Was that underscore?
No, just space.
Yeah. Okay. So you can blank the name. Although the name normally though that doesn't change the that's just the name, and the scout reports give the generic name, not the
that's true.
particular name. So I don't know how he did that. That's kind of weird. Maybe I'll make let me make a little clip of that little tidbit there, because burning with curiosity, and see if I can ask the player.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that'll be a fun one just to ask the player.
Well, if he doesn't know what it is, it's going to be hard for him to find out. What?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you? I don't know.
But I mean, it means it's a large, powerful mage of some kind, like a Vanarus or his god. But we've seen his god. It's the I don't know. Oh, we must be running on an hour and a half now.
Yeah, okay, we'll keep going. So yeah, we're at an hour 05.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
We're down to the tail end.
Okay, so not much is happening here, except they're Vanarus is looking a little betwixt and between. They look like they don't really want to commit, and I can understand some of that with an Ulm Titan running around, but it's I mean, this was high commitment, I guess, but they've still got all this stuff bottled up in their cap. Like, it's like they're trying to scare things away just by having units rather than by using them.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what I mean. Ulm's play is fairly straightforward. He's not overcommitting. He's kind of moving continuously, so his armies are hard to trap.
Yeah.
Because see, that army we just watched fight with what appeared to be a failed stormcast was sitting sieging that fort before.
Right.
So he decided to move off, consolidate. So he's more or less, doing a bit of a encirclement maneuver. And eventually he'll take that fort sitting on the cold plains or the farm, just up to the northeast of where you are.
Yeah, take this.
Vanarus fort. Take that. And once he's got that and the one beside it, he's got a nice firm front line.
Yeah, if Vanarus loses this, he's done.
It's pretty much done, because then, and the other thing is now with the two forts that Ulm has taken away from Vanarus, anything he tries to, he's got a siege that delays him, gives Ulm time to counterattack or airdrop his pretender on.
Yeah.
So Ulm's playing a pretty careful game, I think, and it's working.
Yeah, seems to be working. I wonder if we're going to get a storm over here. We'll have to find out next time. One thing we didn't look up was Uruk. Xibalba moves a squad. We're not going to watch this on top of this last Uruk fort. And Uruk rolls out here with some point buffing in Iron Warriors.
What little bit he's probably got left.
Wooden Warriors, Moss Body.
He's trying to do some damage, but he's just swarmed.
Yeah, it's just too much stuff.
Plain old independence.
Yeah. Xibalba proving once again that units are good.
And that's just a big pile of PD.
Yep.
That about sums up Uruk.
I think that's about this turn.
Yeah, and then Pythium and Bandar, there's really nothing to be said. So that puts us at the end of it. Yeah, that's our 13.
All right.
So we got a couple of tidbits and notes for next time. And I'll see about asking a question about that funny little, what looks like maybe a typo.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining me, Maryland.
You are welcome.
And thank you all for watching.
Bye-bye.